So here we come to IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4, Specimen Paper 2020. We come to question number 6 is about a factor. Before we start, we just mention something here. O is the origin, so it is the origin. This is used for the unit factor thing, or the position factor. And then M is the midpoint, which means our M is equal to MQ. I will just draw something like this first. And then for the green thing, PT to TQ is 2 to 1. So when PT is 2, then QT will be 1. And one more thing, then the PQ will be 3, because 1 add 2 will be 3. For factor, you need to think about 3 things. First of all is the direction. It is from, for example, like from left to right or right to left, or from up down to up or up to down. And then you need to think about the magnitude. That is the length of the vector, so how long it is. And finally, if it is not a horizontal or a vertical line, you need to use the sum or the difference of 2 factors to represent it. So let's take a look on the A1, the MQ, the factor of MQ. So for MQ is just a horizontal line, so this one is quite easy. So you think about this. For this horizontal line should be parallel to the horizontal. It should be parallel to OP. Okay, so you will use OP to think about MQ. But before that, I will think about the RQ, because RQ from R to Q, it is just the same direction from O to P. So RQ, the length is the same as the OP, so they are just the same. So I will write this. RQ is equal to OP is equal to P, and then for MQ, the direction is the same as the RQ, so you can just use the P, but you think about the magnitude is half of it, so I will just use 1/2 like this. MQ is just half of RQ, so it's half of P, so that's the answer for the MQ. And then we think about the MT. So MT is not a horizontal line or a vertical line. So you need to think about which is the first letter. It starts from M, and then we need to add something between the T and M. So we'll use the intermediate Q. So MT is equal to MQ plus QT, or start from M and then finally end at T. So you can have something like this. So you look the difference between MT and TM. If it is TM, you start from T and then TQ plus QM. You end at M. All right, like this. So they are different. All right. So for this MQ, we have already got that. So how about the QT? You need to think about the QT. So for QT, I will think about the direction first. Is the direction same as the QP, right? QT is the direction same as QP, so it should be the same direction with RO. But RO, we just got OR. So for RO is a negative OR, like this. So QP will be equals to negative R. Okay, so and then we think about the magnitude of the QT and the QP, or the relationship between these two. So QT is 1/3 of the QP. Can you see that? When QT is 1, the QP will be 3. So I can write it like QT will be equals to 1/3 times the QP. So it will be negative 1/3 of R. Negative 1/3 times R. Like this. So we just put the half of P here in MQ, and then for QT it's negative 1/3 R. So that will be the answer. So that's the answer. So we think about the OT now. So OT again is not a horizontal or a vertical thing. So you need to add it like OP plus PT. I'll start with O first. So I will write this way. OT is actually equal to OP plus the PT plus P, and at T. You can see it start with O and then end at T, and then with P as the intermediate point. So OP, we have it is P, right? And how about the PT? Right? PT, I think that not difficult. So for PT, you can think about this like this. So you think about the P, the direction is same as PQ first, but PQ is equal to OR. So it is equal to R. And then the magnitude will be, when this is 2, the whole thing, the PQ will be 3. So it's just 2 over 3 times the PQ. Alright, so 2 over 3 times R. So what we got here should be something like this. Alright, this is the answer for part 3. P plus a 2/3 of 2/3 R. So part B is asking about the position factor of U. That's OU, or start from O to U, the factor. But first of all, you need to think about where is U. So according to the question, extend it like this. So if you think about the direction of OU, it should be just the same as the OT, right? And OT you have already found it. So actually, if you can find the ratio of the magnitude of OT and to the OU, you can just multiply the ratio and to OT, and you can get the OU directly. If we want to study the ratio of OT to OU, we can use the similar triangle to do it. And before we do that, remember OT, when OT is 1 and then TP will be 2, and then the whole OP will be 3. And we'll just extend the OP to V and then draw a perpendicular from U to this V, so that OVU is a right angle. So the UV here will be right equal to the QP. Right? So I'll just put a 3 here. The UV will be 3. And then we'll use some similar triangle to find the ratio of OT to OU. So when you looked at the OPT and the OVU, right, they are similar. But why? You can just check it. First of all, the angle TOP, this one, is equal to the angle UOV because they are common angle, right? And then for this one is a right angle, the angle OPT, and the angle OVU must be right angle too. So these two are equal, right? So for the remaining thing, this angle, you can use the angle sum of triangle to prove it. These two must be the same, or you can use the the corresponding angles for the parallel lines too. So anyway, these two triangles must be similar. So triangle OPT is similar to triangle OVU. And the reason is AAA, all the three pairs of angles are equal. So remember, the order is very important. O is followed by PT, and then O is followed by VU, but not OUV or UOV or whatever. It must be OVU, correspond to OPT. Alright, so and then we want to find the ratio between the OT to OU. So I will just pick OT to OU here. So when we choose, we choose OU first. OU on the upper thing, then it must be, because it's OU is the first and then the third from the blue triangle. It must be the first and then the third from the red triangle. So the downside will be OT. This one will be equals to, and then from the blue triangle, we need to pick another length. So it can be OV or VU, but for OV, we don't have the magnitude, or we don't have the ratio. But for VU, we can have something. It's 3, right? So we will pick VU here. So we'll pick VU, and I'll just put VU. When you pick VU, you must be PT underneath. So you will pick PT here. So from the red triangle. And for the reason here, I will put a corresponding size of the similar triangles here. And then we can just put the value here. VU will be 3, and then PT will be 2. PT will be 2. So the ratio is 3 to 2. So you can just get the ratio for OU to OT should be equals to 3 in the upper side, 3 over 2. Okay, so how about we do something more? So we put the OT to the right hand side, so we'll get OU is equal to 3 over 2 times the OT. So the vector OU is also equals to 3 over 2 times the OT vector. And OT vector, we just have it from the part A 3 here, so you can just put this into the OT factor. So you will get something like 3 over 2 times the bracket of P plus 2 over 3 R factor. Alright, so you just break the bracket, so you get the final answer should be 3 over 2P plus 1R. That's it. So here we come to the part C. It's about the magnitude, that's the length of a vector. So you can, actually you don't need the graph, but I will just put it here. So first of all, this means for the upper thing 2k is according to the horizontal thing is about x. So for the lower thing is about the y, the vertical thing. And then this means the magnitude of the vector. It will be it's the diagonal thing, or the length of a diagonal thing. You can think about this way. So here, you can think about the horizontal is 2k. So actually this is 2k. And then for the QT, like this, is negative k. Okay? You can think this way. And then for the diagonal thing, this MT is the square root of 180. So you can see, you can just use the Pythagoras theorem to finish this. So according to the Pythagoras theorem, it is 2k bracket square plus the negative k bracket square will be equals to the square root of 180 and then bracket square, like this. So for 2k bracket square, you will get 4k square. And then for the next one, it must be a positive first. And then for the negative k, you put a bracket and then square it, so it becomes a positive k square. That is no longer negative. And then for the square root of something, you put a square again, so it will become itself. So 180. So and then you just add them up, as 5k square will be equals to the 180. So you get k square equals to how much? Is it 36. So and then you take the square root. So k actually can be positive 6 or k can be negative 6. But here you just want to, the question just want to ask you the positive thing, so you will reject the negative thing. So the answer is just the positive 6 here. The end.